Hey YouTube, today I've transported to New York and to the Friends apartments, as in this episode we're taking a look at the Friends apartment set. Hey guys, and welcome to Brick Talk TV. Terry here, and in today's episode we're going to be taking a look at this Friends apartment set. This set came out in May 2021 under set number 10292 and consists of 2,048 parts that are spread over 15 bags inside the box. This set consists of three main elements. You get Joey and Chandler's apartment, Monica's and Rachel's apartment, and finally the corridor that joins the two apartments. This set currently retails for £134.99 in the UK and is in a similar style to the Central Perk Lego Ideas, which was released in 2019. If you're interested in seeing how the build comes together, then I'll put a card here to the live stream we did, and I'll put a link in the description below so you can see how the build process comes together. The set comes with 7 minifigures, so let's get over to our review and take a closer look at those to start with. So here are the minifigures then, and inside the instruction manual you can read exactly which episodes that each of these minifigures are actually modelled on, because each of them are quite different and they're all from particular episodes back from the Friends series. And not being an avid Friends fan, I probably won't get all of these correct, so do check out the instruction manual to find exactly which minifigure or the episode that the minifigure is based on. So first up we'll do Monica. So Monica is actually posed wearing a printed apron on the front with a holiday jumper with a whisk. So this one is actually obviously based on the Thanksgiving episode where she's creating cooking the turkey. So she's posed ready to get going in the kitchen. She has a printed smile on one face and a kind of discouraged look on the other side. So both sides of her head are printed on. She has a nice hairpiece with the flicking black hair going on there. As that's a nice addition to the kitchen. You can pose her in all sorts of different scenarios inside the kitchen. Then we've got Joey. So this particular Joey model is the episode where he's trying to wear all of Chandler's clothes, I believe. So he's got lots of prints on here of different clothing that are coming through, in terms of he's got a jacket on, he's got like a denim shirt underneath, he's got loads of ties on, he's got shirts and shorts and trousers on in there as well. So it's a nice little fun element to that. He's got a minifigure scarf as well that he's actually physically put between his head and his torso, and he's printed on the back as well. So he's got a little notation that he's got some jackets and things on in the back. In terms of his face, he's got a sort of cheeky smile with a raised eyebrow on one side, and then flipped around the back he's kind of got an embarrassing smirk on the back behind his hair as well there. So that's a great fun little minifigure to add to the collection. Then we've got Janice. I was really pleased to see Janice was included in this set, because she's one of my favourite characters with her annoying laugh. And she's wearing nice gold trousers or leggings, and she's got some leopard print on her torso for her blouse, and it's also printed on the back as well. She has a really huge hairpiece that does take over quite a lot of her space up, if you like. It's overflowing all over the place. And she has a minifigure face, of course, of her laughing, which is the one I'm using at the moment. And printed on the back as well, she's kind of got a shocked looking face as well. And she's carrying a minifigure handbag there as well. So that's Janice. Next up, we've got Rachel. Rachel's carrying a coffee cup, and she's kind of looking at, I can't remember what episode this is at, but she's got sort of a Scottish tartan skirt or trousers on. And she's kind of got a sort of a preppy look going on there. So she's printed all the way on her legs and on her torso, and it's also continued around the back on her torso, but not on her legs. And she's got shoes printed on there as well. She does have two facial expressions, so she's got a smile here on the front and a kind of smirk on her back with nice sort of medium nugget hair going on there as well. Then we'll look over at Chandler. Chandler's got a ticket, so a printed tile that you would have seen in any fairground ride that you've bought at some point. He's got a printed ticket tile there in his hand. He's got a smiling face on. On his back, he's got a laughing face. He's laughing at one of his terrible jokes probably, and then he's got a brown hairpiece, and he's currently wearing some tan trousers, or just no print on his legs. He's just got tan legs, and he's got like a leather jacket printed with a brown tie printed there as well. Again, he's printed on the back, showing some creases of his jacket as well. So that's Chandler. Moving on to Ross. Ross is carrying a milk carton, I think this is. He's got a printed torso, wearing a grey shirt. He's got some just plain black legs, so nothing printed on there. And then around the back again, he's got prints for his shirt being creased at the back. On his face, he's kind of got this sort of smirky looking face, I suppose. Doesn't look too happy on that side. And on the back, he's kind of looking with his mouth open, a bit sort of sad and shocked as well. And he's got a nice black spiky hairstyle, as you'd expect. And then finally, we've got Phoebe, and Phoebe's in art mode. So she's currently got some plain purple trousers or legs on, no prints on the legs. But then on the top, she's got a pink jacket printed with some splodges of paint on, carrying a minifigure paint brush. And then on the back, she's got really long blonde hair, which is a huge, actually really long hair piece. I've not seen this one before. Don't know if it's a new one for this set. It's probably been around before, but I've never come across it. But it does cover up her torso. But if you lift it up, she does have a print on the back as well, again with some creases of her jacket. And she's got a shocked face on the back. And on the front, she's got a smiley face. So this is taken from an episode where she's being quite artistic and building some art doll's house, I think it was. And that's the collection of the minifigures you get inside the set. So you get a nice array, easily to pose all of these into to recreate some of your favourite scenes from the show. And also the addition of Janice, I think, is a really nice touch because she was one of the iconic characters for me. So let's flip over now. And first up, we'll take a look at Joey and Chandler's apartment on its own. So this is Joey and Chandler's apartment. It's actually where you start building from the start inside the set. And one of the first things you actually build is this central piece here, which again, similar to the Central Perk set, if you've got it, it pulls out as a separate standalone piece as well. So you build up this kind of rug that's going on out of bricks. And this is the episode where they get some chairs in front of their TV, which synchronise when they tilt back together. And you've got a nice little table there with a bottle of beer on. And so you build these nice little seats and this little rug to start you off with. And then you start building out the frame of this actual main flat itself. And in terms of the features you've got around here, you've actually got the football table, which is a nice little touch and a sort of mini build in its own right, with some micro figures that are actually stuck in there to create the characters. You've got a little book stand over here with a book on it, with a notice board over here. You've got the main door, which opens up, which will come from the corridor once we attach the corridor in a second. And actually on the back, you can see that sort of ghost writing, etch-a-sketchy kind of toy that they used to write sayings on. And you get a choice in the pack, actually, what sticker you stick on the door there. So that's a nice touch again. And I've customised it with the sticker. Got a picture of Manhattan over on the wall here. And as you come around here, you've got a nice little kitchen area with some cupboards and the fridge. I was a little disappointed with this kitchen area, actually, that you couldn't open the fridge. It's just sort of block built and there's no way to open the doors because the doors are just tiles that are stuck on top of blocks. It would have been nice to be able to open up the fridge, maybe see some pizza or something that Joey's put in there, just to add another little touch. But there is a little sink and a little stove there as well, and a little countertop here where you've got a carton of milk left out, a little microwave, and you've got a bird that's sat there on the end of the table. You've got a couple of stools as well, so you can pose minifigures sitting at the sort of breakfast bar countertop. Over in the corner here, you've kind of got the darts board and a couple of games going on here with hockey sticks and a tennis racket. There is a door here which opens up to nowhere, so this would have been one of the bedrooms, I think, from the show. And then as you go around to this area, you've got some windows that are put in here as well. And you stick some stickers on the windows to give the idea of some blinds there, but you also brick build some of these curtains that are going either side as well. And there's a little lamp in the corner. Another brick built sofa over here as well, with a little coffee table with a pizza box on and a printed newspaper tile. And the newspaper tile says the greatest hero ever, and it shows a fireman getting a cat out of a tree. You have a dog on wheels in the corner and a nice little poster that says it's Mysteries de Billand. So there's a Billand quote there of La Brick on a poster there. You get another door then, which leads to another bedroom, which leads to nothing actually in reality on this set, with the speakers, with a stack of CDs and then some speakers for the TV unit. The TV unit itself is sort of a separate build as well, and inside there's a little hi-fi system or video player with a TV and a printed picture. I think it's probably of Joey actually in his soap opera there doing his lines. Then you've got another doorway, again leads to nowhere, and that sort of gives you that look of this whole old flat. And of course you've got at the front here, you've got the canoe from the episode where they had a canoe. And you can't forget over here, I think, is it Glynis? Might be wrong, but that's the art piece that Phoebe is creating and trying to get rid of, and it moves between the apartments throughout the episode, I think. But I've got her positioned currently in Joey and Chandler's flat or apartment. So that's kind of the apartment. I think in terms of the aesthetic look, they've captured all the different elements and some of the iconic episodes that you'll see with these sort of rotating chairs. The football table was a must, the canoe as well. And it's really nice how they've come together and continued that sort of theme that you get from the Central Perk. So let's just flip over now and I'll take a look firstly at the corridor, and then we'll move on to Monica's and Rachel's apartment. So let me look at the corridor first. So of course, the corridor is quite famous because there's quite a few scenes that are done in there, and it's quite a simple build that you do in between the two flats. And so it's just this little look here. So you've got a couple of plates put together with this sort of angle here to give that illusion of going around the corridor to the steps that would have led up or down to the different apartments. You've got, I think it's ice cream that's melted on the floor here with a spoon, which I think was from one of the episodes where they're eating ice cream off the floor, but I may be wrong, but I think that's what happened. And then you've got a little radiator cover sort of in the corner there. And this is a really simple build. In terms of connections to the other apartments, they just slot in under here. So under here, you just got a little area where there's a little tab or tile that will just slot into place. And if I bring Joey's apartment back into the shot here, you can see that we'll just, if I get the right area, if you look on here, there's a little tile that juts out from the doorway, and you just literally line that up and slot it on like that. So it's not stuck together. And then with Rachel and Monica's apartment, the same technique is used just to slot it in. So currently, this is kind of how the apartments can be displayed on wherever you're going to do it. So let's take a look now, and we'll have a look at Monica and Rachel's apartment. I'll just slide this over to the side. So I suppose this is probably the most iconic set of the whole show, and maybe some may argue of any show. And they've really captured it with the highlight of the lavender of the walls, and all the colours I think are really vibrant in this apartment. So let's start over this side, which is the iconic doorway, which will connect to the other side of that corridor that we just shown here. So you've got the purple or lavender door, again with the sort of frame around the keyhole, which is a sticker that you stick on. There's some pictures as you come through, and then of course you've got the main kitchen area, which is crammed full of shelving and things that are stuck on the shelves to help Monica do her cooking. And this is kind of set up with a turkey on the table, ready for the Thanksgiving episode. There's also this doll's house, which I think is something Phoebe is trying to create with some art and ends up catching fire. So you can also position that on top of the table if you like as well. And then again, the detail of the kitchen over here and the way it curves around, and the windows and the sink. There's a little stove in there as well. Again, unfortunately, the fridge doesn't open, so it's just a tile-built fridge. But I think you've got loads of potential here to do lots of poses and maybe take photos of certain scenes to recreate them if you wanted to. And you've got the table and all different chairs. So each of these builds for the chairs are different as well, which again is quite a nice little touch because it gives you some exposure to some different techniques to building different styles of chair. Then as you come over to this side of the apartment through these beams, these sort of support beams, you've actually got the TV sort of sofa area. Again, you've got a chance to build another sofa out of some bricks. And like on this one, which I've never done before actually, is to include some pillows, which are nicely done with some printed tiles and some transparent pieces that connect into the some bricks here just to position them. And so those are quite a nice touch. Unfortunately though, once you've done that, you can't really position the minifigures on the pillows. They do take up some space. So you've only got 4 studs left to position minifigures on the sofa there. As you come around this side, you've got an armchair, a white one, which goes with sort of similar to the other sofa, but each of these are all different styles. Again, a nice build. I think I've seen a similar build in the Sesame Street build as well recently. And there's a little armchair here as well, which is similar to the ones that you've built in around the table. And then on the coffee table, you've sort of got a green bottle, which could be wine or beer. You've got the same newspaper that we saw in Joey and Chandler's as well. So it's got the greatest hero ever with the fireman taking a cat down. And then over here, you've got a TV screen, and there's a sticker on the TV screen, which has got a football match on, which was from the Thanksgiving episode when people wanted to watch the football and not really help do the dinner. There's some posters and some stickers on the wall here. You've got an empty doorway. It doesn't go anywhere over here to a bedroom. That's just to nowhere. Same over on this side, another doorway that goes nowhere. And then as you go over here, you've got that synonymous balcony scene where you've got the windows that are angled into the apartment. Again, that's a really nice technique, the way that they've managed to do that, to get that angle into the apartment, but still have it sturdy. You build some brick-built curtains there as well, which hang down nicely in front of a nice little table with a little armchair underneath there. As you move around this side, again, you've got another bedroom, so a doorway that goes to nowhere on this side. But this one here in the corner is actually the untidy cupboard that Monica has hidden away, even though she's got OCD. So inside here, you've got various boxes and pieces of chairs and minifigure heads and all sorts of things in there, and you get to put those in there any style that you like, and that's built into this. So there's a backing here which stops anything falling out, which is nice. And then around the background here, if I rotate it round for you, you can see you do get the balcony here. There's a sort of a notion of a fire escape hanging down over there, and then you've got the big long pokey stick to try and get the I think it was a bird, wasn't it, off of the balcony. I may be wrong, but there's a long pointy stick in there as well, which you get to build. And there's a cat that's positioned and stuck onto the balcony build as well. And so that's the detail of Monica and Rachel's flat. It's got some really nice techniques in here to build furniture. So if you're particularly interested in how to build certain furnitures for your MOCs and for other things, then this is also a really great set for that. And of course, just to recreate the whole Friends scenes is also a great build. So let me just attach this now to the other parts of the sets, so you can see what it looks like. So then if we bring this round here, we'll just connect this into the corridor like so, and then you've got the sort of full set nicely positioned. So it does take up, as you can see, quite a lot of space. So you're gonna need a lot of display space if you wanted to stick this on any sort of shelf. My plan is actually probably to deconstruct this and actually incorporate that into a previous MOC I've done, where we've put Central Perk at the bottom, and then the first floor was the Big Bang Theory, and then the roof was the wedding from the Big Bang Theory. My plan is hopefully to convert these into another 2 floors of that MOC modular and make them part of that build as well. So I've got somewhere to stick them in Bricktown and not to be cluttering up the shelf. So, you know, do hit that subscribe button to be notified of when that video hits, because once I get time to convert it, you can see what that end result looks like. And also I'll put a link up here if you've not seen that MOC modular where we've incorporated Big Bang Theory into the Friends set, Central Perk, so you can see what that kind of looks like. So overall, I had fun building this set. It's got several nods to the Friends series, as you can imagine, and you can see how great they've recreated it in the Lego form. This will make a great display piece for any Friends fan out there who's looking to add to the original Central Perk idea set, which was released in 2019. I love how Lego have continued to expand the theme and give the fans the final scenes really that they were hoping for. And this will probably be the last set we see now in this Friends series, because there wasn't many more iconic scenes or situations you find these characters in. So this is probably going to be the last one, but you've got plenty of options here now to position and take photos of your favourite Friends episodes. As I mentioned, now I'm not planning just to leave these sets in this current form. They will be broken down and actually put into the converted Central Perk set modular with the Big Bang, and I'm hoping to do that soon. And I'll be following the MOC modular Brickopolis instructions, and I'll stick a card here to that episode and also that link in the description below, so you can see what the instructions look like, because they are available for free by Brickopolis from Rebrickable. So if you do have those sets lying around, you need a few extra bricks and you can make quite an impressive modular out of those sets. So I'll be incorporating these, hopefully maybe Brickopolis will get around to it first, into incorporating these, and coming up soon is the new Seinfeld set. And although I'm not a Seinfeld fan at all and I never saw any of the episodes, I'll probably be purchasing that in order to add yet another level to that modular MOC. It's going to be quite a big tower going on in Bricktown, which will be nice to add some height to the city. So watch this space for those videos to drop. So just a reminder to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and it helps the channel grow. And also be sure to hit that subscribe button with the bell notification turned on to be notified about future videos, including that MOC that I mentioned. And until next time, stay safe and I'll see you then.